What if I told you the Prince of Atlanta just walked off his throne, and nobody saw it coming? King Harris, the son of rap royalty T.I. and Tiny, just dropped an emotional goodbye that shook hip-hop's first family to its core. The same kid who grew up on stage lights and Rolls-Royce selfies just told the world he's done. And not I need a break done. I'm talking mic drop, crown on the floor done. The footage that surfaced? Heartbreaking and confusing at the same time. Fans are crying, T.I. looks stunned, and Tiny, she's holding back tears like a mama who just watched her legacy fracture in real time. What happened behind those closed mansion doors? What pushed King from family fame to public farewell? Rumor says betrayal. Others whisper mental break. But the truth, the real truth, is darker, deeper, and tangled in family secrets, industry pressure, and a boy growing up in a spotlight brighter than he could bear. Forget the Kardashians. This meltdown makes their drama look like kindergarten recess. Because when a Harris says goodbye, it's never simple. It's explosive, emotional, and it might have just rewritten the future of Atlanta royalty. Welcome to the truth behind King Harris's emotional exit. This is Celeb Aura. The moment King Harris said, "I'm done," the internet froze like someone just unplugged the Wi-Fi on fame itself. T.I.'s son, the one who grew up in diamond chains, Rolls Royces, and reality TV cameras, had walked straight off his legacy like it was a runway. One minute, he's performing at a showcase, grinning like hip-hop royalty. The next, he's dropping cryptic lines that sound more like a farewell letter than a post. The footage went viral before sunrise. King, eyes glassy, voice trembling, saying, "Sometimes you gotta leave to find yourself. Now, let's not act shocked like we didn't see the storm clouds forming. For months, King's socials have been screaming, 'I'm over this.' The man was posting Bible verses one day, fighting trolls the next, and shading his parents in between. You could feel the tension building like a reality show reunion special. Fans kept asking, what's going on with King? And apparently the answer was everything. Because behind the luxury, the private schools, the brand deals, King was fighting battles the public didn't see. Rumor says the family dinners had turned into debates, studio sessions into shouting matches, and every motivational talk from T.I. sounded more like a TED Talk nobody asked for. Insiders whispered that King wanted independence, to be his own man, not T.I.'s son who raps. But in a family built on fame, breaking free isn't a decision, it's a declaration of war. And when your father is a Southern rap legend and your mother's a Grammy-winning singer, your every move gets magnified into headlines. The emotional exit started as a whisper, an IG story that read, "Goodbye ain't always about leaving people. Sometimes it's about leaving the version of you they won't let grow." Simple, poetic, heartbreaking. Within minutes, fan pages reposted it with captions like, "King Harris is done with the industry." And T.I. and Tiny respond to Son's breakdown, except they didn't. Not yet. T.I. stayed silent, which, for a man who tweets more than a politician, spoke volumes. Tiny dropped a subtle prayer hands emoji, the digital equivalent of, "We handling this offline." But fans weren't waiting for official statements. The internet had already declared a narrative. The royal family of Atlanta was falling apart. Comment sections turned into battlefields. Some said, "King's just being dramatic and he'll be back next week." Others argued, "No, y'all don't get it. He's been crying for help." Every post, every lyric, every interview clip got re-examined like it held secret codes. Even an old video of T.I. lecturing King about humility resurfaced with captions like, "This is where it all started. But let's be real. This wasn't a sudden meltdown. This was the slow unraveling of a kid raised under pressure thicker than diamond chains." Growing up Harris meant cameras in your face before puberty, judgment before self-discovery, and haters waiting for your first mistake. King wasn't just famous. He was inherited fame, and that kind of spotlight burns differently. Insiders claim the breaking point came after an argument during a family filming session, one of those behind-the-scenes reality moments that never make the cut. Allegedly, T.I. told King he was acting entitled and needed to earn respect, not expect it. King allegedly fired back, "You don't even see who I am." Boom. Silence. Cameras cut. But the damage? Permanent. A week later, King was seen walking out of the Harris estate with duffel bags and a blank stare. No entourage, no security, just him and his pride. Paparazzi photos captured the moment. The son of Atlanta's biggest power couple, stepping away from the empire his family built. TMZ called it an emotional exit. Fans called it a rebellion. The truth? It was both. Because underneath all the drama, there's something raw about King's story. The kid who grew up watching his parents conquer music and television suddenly realized the price of being born into a brand. Every smile had to be marketable. Every emotion had to fit a headline. When he tried to carve his lane, people called him spoiled. When he showed pain, they called it performative. No matter what, the boy couldn't win. So when he said goodbye, it wasn't just to his parents or his fame. It was to the identity everyone else built for him. The media, of course, did what it does best. Twisted the narrative into chaos. One blog claimed he was disowning his family. Another said he was moving to LA for therapy. Some even speculated he had signed a secret deal with a rival label just to spite T.I. None of it confirmed. But in the land of gossip, confirmation is optional. Clicks are currency. Then came the leaked voicemail. A short clip allegedly of King talking to a friend saying, "I ain't no puppet, bro. I'm done being the family's TV storyline." That one line broke the internet faster than a Kim Kardashian selfie. Fans called it brave. Critics called it ungrateful. But everyone agreed on one thing. The Harris household was no longer picture perfect. Tiny tried to hold things together publicly. She posted a photo of her and King with the caption, "Love never leaves, even when life gets loud." Sweet, subtle, classic mom move. But the timing only made people ask more questions. Was this her way of saying goodbye too? Meanwhile, T.I. finally broke his silence during an interview, saying, "My son's a man now. Sometimes you gotta let them find their own way, even if it ain't the one you planned." Mature, composed, politically perfect. But fans didn't buy it. They wanted tears, tension, drama, not a Hallmark quote, and let's not forget, this is King Harris. The same kid who went viral for saying he was born into money, not made by it. The same boy who fought critics for calling him entitled on live TV. The same face that's been both mocked and idolized by the internet since middle school. When someone like that says goodbye, people listen. Not because they care, but because they're addicted to watching royalty fall. Within days, the hashtag Cha or Goodbye King hit millions of views. Fans created tribute edits. Rap blogs analyzed his lyrics like they were prophecies. Even random YouTubers with zero inside info were making what really happened to King Harris videos. But the truth, the real truth, is simpler and sadder. King didn't leave fame because he couldn't handle attention. He left because he couldn't find peace in it. For years, he was the punchline of his parents' fame. Now he wanted to rewrite the script. And that takes guts. Because when your last name is Harris, silence isn't rebellion, it's survival. And this silence? It was about to make more noise than any rap track he ever dropped. The internet woke up the next morning and realized that Goodbye King wasn't just a caption. It was a cultural earthquake. The Harris family name was trending across every platform, and King's emotional exit had turned into a social media civil war. On one side, fans were saying, "Let that boy grow." On the other, the critics were sharpening their knives, tweeting things like, "Rich kid problems at Cry Me a Rolls Royce." But this wasn't just another celebrity meltdown. This was the public unraveling of a dynasty that once branded itself as the perfect hip-hop family. T.I. had spent decades polishing that image, from reality shows to family interviews. But King's farewell cracked that facade like a diamond under too much pressure. As the footage of King's goodbye spread, the reactions poured in, and honey, they were brutal. Celebrities, fans, even comedians jumped into the storm. Scent, of course, couldn't resist. He posted a clip of King walking away from a luxury car with the caption, "You can't run from the crown, lil bro. You either wear it or drop it." Classic 50, the king of commentary himself. Then Boozy Badazz chimed in with his own Southern sermon, saying on live, "Man, that lil dude too emotional. He need to go back to his daddy house, learn how to take them L's." The comment section erupted. People were dropping popcorn emojis like they were watching the BET Awards of family drama. Meanwhile, Tiny stayed quiet. Her silence spoke louder than any statement could. She didn't post, didn't like, didn't comment, and in celebrity land, that's practically a confession. Fans flooded her old pictures with questions. Is King okay? Did something happen? Where's T.I.? Theories multiplied faster than AI-generated rap lyrics. Faster than AI-generated rap lyrics. Then came the twist nobody saw coming. a leaked text thread allegedly between King and a close friend. Screenshots circulated everywhere, showing messages like, "They think I'm just a character on their show," and "I love my parents, but I'm tired of being their storyline." Whether real or fake, it didn't matter. The internet had its proof, and the narrative was sealed. King Harris wasn't rebelling against fame. He was rebelling against the script, and this wasn't just about celebrity ego. This was generational tension. Broadcast in 4K, you had a father raised in the trenches who built an empire through hustle and respect, versus a son raised in mansions trying to build one through individuality and emotion. Same bloodline, different worlds. By midweek, talk shows were running segments titled, "Did T.I. Push King Too Far?" Entertainment journalists broke down the timeline like detectives in a true crime series. One viral clip showed a montage of every time T.I. publicly scolded King on their family reality show. Each clip cut deeper, T.I. saying, "You still got a lot to learn." King replying, "I'm not you, bruh." That moment hit the internet like a thunderclap. Fans turned that single quote, "I'm not you, bruh," into a movement. Hashtags exploded, "Let King be King," "Breaking Royalty," and "Born Famous, Dying Free." Every Gen Z influencer with a mic started preaching about toxic fame, generational trauma, and the pressure of legacy. Suddenly, King wasn't just a rebellious kid. He was a symbol. And you already know once TikTok got hold of it, things spiraled into meme heaven. Edits flooded the feed. Slow-motion clips of King walking away from T.I., remixed with sad Drake music or inspirational speeches. Some creators called it Prince of Pain, the Harris story. Others turned it into comedy skits. When your daddy's a legend but you just want to clock in at Target. But for all the humor, the real conversation was deadly serious. Everyone saw pieces of themselves in King, the pressure to live up to expectations, the battle between who you are and who the world wants you to be. Then, just when you thought the internet couldn't squeeze more drama out of this, King went live again. His voice was calm this time, but the pain behind his eyes could melt steel. "I ain't disowning nobody," he said. "I just need peace. Y'all see money, y'all see fame, but y'all don't see what come with it. You can't breathe without people recording it. You can't mess up without becoming a headline. I'm human." Boom, silence. The internet froze mid-scroll. That live became the moment. Raw, honest, and heartbreakingly relatable. Within hours, celebrities started siding with him. Summer Walker reposted it with, "Fame is a trap." Meek Mill tweeted, "He's speaking real. That pressure ain't normal." Even Snoop Dogg commented a simple, "Respect, Lil Man." Meanwhile, T.I. finally responded in a podcast clip that instantly went viral. "My son a grown man," he said. "We done raised him with love, but you can't control how somebody finds they peace. I respect it, but I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. He's still got some growing to do." It was a diplomatic answer, but the tone said everything. Pride mixed with disappointment. You could tell the pain was mutual. A father who built an empire watching his son walk away from it, and a son who'd rather be misunderstood than molded. And of course, the fans dissected every syllable. "Did you hear how he said respect it? That's dad code for I'm mad." Others argued, "Nah, that's love in disguise." The debate turned into a cultural symposium on parenting, fame, and the blurred lines between discipline and dominance. Even other celebrity parents weighed in. Diddy's ex, Misa Hilton, tweeted, "Every child raised in fame reaches that moment. The difference is how the parents respond." Candy Burris commented, "Sometimes walking away is the only way to find your identity." At this point, King Harris wasn't just a name. He was a mirror reflecting every public and private battle between generations. Fans started calling him the voice of the industry's kids. And just when things began to cool down, an insider leaked something that sent everyone back into chaos. Allegedly, King had been approached by a documentary team wanting to tell his side of the story. Working title? The Crown Don't Fit. The internet lost its collective mind. "Oh, this about to be King's lemonade moment," one user tweeted. Others warned, "T.I. gonna turn into Joe Jackson real quick." But the wildest part? The leak claimed the documentary wasn't about exposing his parents. It was about freeing himself from their shadow. A coming-of-age story wrapped in controversy, emotion, and Atlanta royalty politics. If true, it would be the Harris family's biggest public reckoning since the height of their fame. By then, public opinion had shifted entirely. King went from being seen as the spoiled rapper kid to the rebel royal who dared to speak his truth. Teenagers were quoting him on TikTok. Magazines called him Gen Z's most misunderstood celebrity. One fan page even posted, "He didn't fall off. He stepped out." And maybe that's exactly what this was. Not a meltdown, but a metamorphosis. Because every empire eventually faces rebellion. And sometimes, that rebellion wears designer sneakers and carries a camera phone. King Harris didn't destroy the Harris legacy. He redefined it. But just when people started celebrating his freedom, something unexpected happened. A new video surfaced that flipped the narrative one more time. By the time King Harris's story reached its next chapter, the internet had crowned him both hero and villain of his own saga. Fans saw him as the brave prince who walked away from a golden cage, while critics called him a spoiled prodigy, with a mic and a meltdown. But all that noise came to a screeching halt when the video dropped. The one that flipped everything we thought we knew about King's emotional exit. The clip, posted by a mysterious page called ATL True Files, was barely 2 minutes long, but it hit harder than a diss track. It showed King in what looked like his family's kitchen, sitting across from T.I., voice cracking as he said, "I ain't trying to disrespect you, Pops. I just don't feel like I belong here no more." You could hear Tiny off camera trying to calm things down, whispering, "Just listen, Tip." But T.I., visibly frustrated, fired back, "You can't run from who you are, son. You Harris blood, you don't quit." Boom, that was the spark. King shot back. "You don't get it. Y'all love T.I., not King. Y'all don't see me." And that's when the internet imploded. Because for the first time, fans saw what really happened behind the headlines. Not rebellion, but revelation. This wasn't a tantrum. It was a kid suffocating in a legacy too heavy to carry. The tone wasn't anger. It was heartbreak. And suddenly, everyone who had dragged him online went silent. Clips from that conversation flooded every corner of social media. TikTokers started duetting it with captions like, "This hit deeper than therapy," and "When your last name is heavier than your dreams." Even people who'd never heard of King Harris were sharing the clip like it was gospel. Tiny eventually confirmed the video's authenticity in a heartfelt post, writing, "Families go through things. We love hard, we fight hard, and we heal hard. King needed to be heard, and now, we listening." That one post broke the tension. It was Tiny's way of saying, "We're not perfect, but we're still family." But of course, the internet couldn't leave it at that. Conspiracy theorists claimed the video was strategically leaked to fix the Harris brand. Others said it was the rawest celebrity moment since Will Smith's infamous Red Table Talk. Whatever it was, it worked, because within hours, King Harris went from misunderstood rebel to the voice of generational pain. He even did something wild. He went back live, not to drag anyone, but to thank people. "I didn't post that video," he said, "but maybe it needed to come out. I ain't trying to be nobody's victim. I just want to grow without being judged for it. I love my family even if we bump heads." The comment section flooded with hearts. People were saying, "This is maturity, this is healing, and he's not quitting, he's transforming." Then out of nowhere, T.I. posted his own video response. No filters, no PR script, just him sitting in a studio with his signature Southern calm. "My boy King," he started. "He's passionate, and I love that about him. Sometimes fathers and sons gotta clash before they connect. I ain't lose no son, I gained understanding." The internet collectively exhaled. It was like the final episode of a long-running family series finally found peace. But just when everyone thought the Harris saga had hit its emotional peak, here came the twist that nobody expected. King announced a new single titled "Goodbye Ain't Forever." And baby, when I tell you this wasn't just a song, it was a confession set to a beat. The lyrics were brutal and beautiful at once. "They want me to wear the crown, but I'm trying to learn how to breathe. Legacy a blessing and a burden when the world watching me bleed." Within 24 hours, the track hit #1 on Apple Music's trending chart. Every verse felt like a page torn from his diary, and the fans ate it up. Even T.I. promoted it with the caption, "Proud of you, son. Do it your way." Talk about full circle redemption. But behind the applause, you could still feel the tension. Because King hadn't just healed publicly, he'd opened the door for every other industry kid to speak up. Suddenly, Willow Smith, Christian Combs, and even Regina Carter were dropping cryptic posts about the pressure of living up to a name. One fan tweeted, "King Harris started a revolution, fame kids finally talking their truth." A revolution, fame kids finally talking their truth. And that's the thing. King's exit wasn't an escape. It was an awakening. His emotional breakdown turned into a generational movement. He became a symbol of the new era, one where fame doesn't mean silence and legacy doesn't mean losing yourself. Yet let's be real, not everyone was ready for that. Industry OGs started whispering that the new kid's too soft, while fans clapped back, nah, they just real. The debate went on for weeks. Is King Harris the future of authenticity, or just another kid rebelling against privilege? Either way, one fact couldn't be denied. The boy had the world's attention, and he used it wisely. King started partnering with mental health organizations, hosting small events where teens could talk about pressure, fame, and finding identity beyond expectations. People who once mocked him were now quoting him. The same kid who used to go viral for arguments was now trending for introspection. T.I., proud as ever, even joined one of those panels. When asked about the viral video, he smiled and said, "That was a hard day, but it made us better men." The room applauded. That's when you realized, this wasn't just a family feud gone public. It was a generational healing moment broadcast to millions. The Harris family didn't crumble under pressure. They evolved through it. And in a world that feeds off chaos, seeing that kind of growth felt revolutionary. By the end of it all, King posted a single photo, him sitting on a rooftop at sunset, captioned, "Still royal." Just learning to wear it my way? It was quiet. It was powerful. It was closure. Because let's face it, goodbyes don't always mean endings. Sometimes they're beginnings disguised as heartbreak. King Harris didn't walk away from his crown. He reshaped it, bent it, broke it, rebuilt it, until it finally fit the man he's becoming. And whether you loved him, doubted him, or just came for the tea, you can't deny it. This story made every other celebrity crisis look like a cheap rerun, because this wasn't just drama. It was evolution, and as the music fades, the lights dim, and the world scrolls to the next scandal, one thing remains clear: the prince didn't fall. He just grew wings. And in the kingdom of celeb aura, that's the kind of ending that never really ends. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the royal storm none of us saw coming. King Harris didn't just walk away, he rewrote the meaning of goodbye. From viral meltdowns to heartfelt music, he turned pain into purpose, silence into strength, and drama into destiny. What started as an emotional exit became a masterclass in growth. And whether you loved him, judged him, or just came for the gossip, you've got to admit, this one hit harder than a Zeus reunion brawl. But here's the truth. In the kingdom of fame, no crown is ever light. Every heir has to decide, live for the spotlight or live for yourself. And King Harris? He finally chose himself. Respect. Now before you click away, do the real royal thing. Smash that like button like it owes you loyalty. Hit subscribe like you're sealing your bloodline in the algorithm. And drop your take in the comments. Did King Harris just grow up or did he give up? You decide, and I'll be right there sipping the tea with you. Because over here at Celeb Aura, we don't just spill celebrity secrets. We turn them into cinematic sagas. The next bombshell's already brewing, and trust me, it's messier than a reality star breakup at the BET after party. So buckle up, stay dramatic, and remember, in the world of fame, every goodbye just means another headline is coming. This is Celeb Aura, where fame has feelings, scandals have sequels, and the truth always shines louder than the spotlight.